So I'm going to start by saying his name is John F. Kennedy. John Fitzgerald Jack Kennedy. He was known from his initials as JFK. He was possibly the best leader that was born in our lifetime. He had died while serving as our 35th President of the United States from January 30th, 1961 until his assassination on November the 22nd, 1963. I felt that Kennedy was a transformational leader. When he took office, the changes were made right away to help America and other countries by equal rights, helping others, and putting back people to work during a recession. When he set up the Peace Corps, this was never done by any president in history. On May the 25th, 1961, President Kennedy gave a moonshot speech to Congress, which he told them that he believed that this nation should commit itself to achieving the goal of landing a man on the moon and returning him safely to Earth. If I were to improve his leadership style in the amount of time that he had, I would have probably hired an extra committee to do closer inspections of the buildings. I would have a list of every person that worked in the buildings, their job description, how long they had been there, any construction going on, including the outside contractors that would have allowed on working that day, of the visit of the President of the United States, all the background checks, the personnel working the events that would have been done within a 12-hour prior to that. I would have had the Secret Service placed in various spots around the buildings of the parades. It may have saved lives that day, especially as then. Kennedy was born at 83 Beale Street in Brooklyn, Massachusetts on May the 29th, 1917. His father, Joe Kennedy, was a businessman, politician, and his mother, Rose Fitzgerald Kennedy, was a philanthropist socialite. Kennedy had an elder brother, Joseph Jr., and 7 younger siblings. All 4 of his grandparents were children of Irish immigrants. Kennedy was in the United States Naval Reserve from 1941 to 1945. This is when he first began as a leader. And he went into the Navy in October of 1940. I believe it was 1940. This was right before the attack on Pearl Harbor. On December the 7th, 1942, until February 23rd, 1943, his first command at age of 25 was running a PT-10, a motor torpedo boat squadron. He led 3 Hutchins PT boats, PT-98 and a PT-99, a PT-101, which were being relocated from a MT Braun 4 in Melbourne, Rhode Island, back in Jacksonville, Florida. And the new PT Braun 14 formed February 17, 1943. By March the 1st, 1945, Kennedy had retired from the Navy Reserve due to his physical disability. He had lots of back injuries. And he had received an honorably discharge with full rank as a lieutenant. His military decorations and awards included the Navy and the Marine Corps Medal, Purple Heart Medal, American Defense Medal, American Campaign Medal, and Pacific Campaign Medal, and 3 6-inch bronze stars, and the World War II Victory Medal.
Two.
In 1947, the U.S. Representative James Michael Curley left his seat in the U.S. House of Representatives and the Democratic 11th Congressional District in Massachusetts. Kennedy ran for the seat and won, in which he served as a congressman for 6 years. Kennedy then served from the United States Senate from 1953 to 1960, in which he married Jacqueline Lee Kennedy on December 1954 and had their honeymoon in Mexico. They eventually had 3 children, Carolyn, John, and Patrick. Just like the Kennedy curse, they also had a stillborn baby, which they would have named Arabella. In a 1960 U.S. presidential election, JFK defeated Richard Nixon and became the 35th President of the United States. At the age of 43, he was and remains the youngest ever elected U.S. president. When President Kennedy took office, the U.S. was in a recession. He created his own executive anti-recessionary acceleration program, which he reformed the taxes. The individual production rose 15% at this, and with that, the unemployment decreased. President JFK established a Peace Corps in March 1st, 1961. By Executive Order 10924. This program, through which America volunteers would help undeveloped nations in areas such as education, healthcare, farming, and construction. By 2016, Peace Corps now has 220,000 Americans that have joined and served 140 countries helping others. I think that's just amazing. On Capitol Hill, Kennedy made no more splash than a small pebble in a large ocean during his first term. The only remarkable thing about his conduct then was his independence regarding the party's leaders. That was quoted in a book. On October the 22nd, 1962, President Kennedy made a televised announcement on the U.S. spy planes that were discovered in U.S. missiles based in Cuba. There were medium and small range missiles and can cause a strike in the U.S. In which this was right here, the closest that we probably came to World War III. And thanks to the quick action of President Kennedy, he avoided all this and he stopped a major war from happening. On June 10th, 1963, JFK signed the law for an Equal Payment Act, 1963, to abolish the Wage Disparity Act on sex, and he was always fighting for equal rights in America. And of course, as everyone knows, President Kennedy was assassinated on November the 22nd, in which he was traveling with his wife, and Lee Harvey Oswald had denied having committed the crime. And on November the 24th, Jack Ruby, he was a nightclub owner, had shot and killed him, and he had told the press that he was trying to spare Ms. Kennedy the discomfort of the trial. And President JFK, last words was, "This was very obvious." He spoke the phrase to Nellie Conley, the wife of Texas Governor John Conley. She had remarked to him, "Mr. President, you can't say that Dallas doesn't love you." The President's last words to his wife were, "Take your glasses off, Jackie." she had put the glasses, she had put on the glasses while riding on the motorcade due to the glare of the sun. On November the 22nd, 1963, you can see right here that she still has the blood on her dress from while Lyndon B. was swearing in, Lyndon Johnson was swearing in as president, and dress is still in the archives, and she never received, they never recovered her pillbox hat. And I had a quick video if you don't have time for it.
No, I'm sorry.
And this is the grave site. And just to, this movie just came out on the 2nd of December. If you have a chance to catch it, this is a movie about Jacqueline Kennedy, in which this is what it was like as the First Lady and how she dealt with the loss and raising the kids after his death. Thank you very much.
Thank you.